Before we started on the change process, I had a service which I think had incremental change over a period of time, but it wasn't a service that was well equipped to face the challenges that local government face now and in the future. Certainly had a service that in parts had, I think, a spirit of fortress mentality where the public was seen more as a nuisance than a help, and that was a culture that I think we had to change.
The good thing about taking planning into the contact centre meant that we had a duty planning officer situated in the contact centre from 10 till 4 every day, and this helped tremendously because it meant that the customer could walk in through the door and be seen and helped with their inquiry.
I mean, two things really. It's made us more responsive, perhaps more to the contact centre initially than to public calls. A lot of the public calls are pre-screened by the contact centre. If it's relevant, then our duty officers will get involved. So we're able to perhaps concentrate on much more of the processing tasks that we need to in the service area itself. Take on new things like scanning, like appeals, information and administration, which we didn't do before, and start to get at some of the more housekeeping issues that perhaps have been neglected for a while, really to make everything be running more efficiently.
The people involved delivering services were the people who really took things forward, and they looked at how we delivered services and redesigned those services, particularly to put parts of the work we did through the contact centre, and that involved, in tandem with that, a major restructuring of the service, which involved a lot of uncertainties, quite difficult times, as people's jobs changed, but it was something we just had to go through.
We learnt an awful lot from taking on the tranche one, which was environmental health. So this time we knew to speak to the person who does the job and get their feel for what we were taking on in the contact centre.
I think we've given our customers a wider range of access, if you like, particularly to planning services. Not only can they see us on a sort of face-to-face basis as they would perhaps intentionally do, but we're now making them more aware perhaps that they can look at things via the web, for example. So with our planning applications, we populate those to the web. They don't actually have to come into the contact centre personally anymore, or they can ring up for information. So we really have extended our services and the range in ways they can contact us.
We've achieved over the last 2 years a much greater accessibility to good information about services and good advice, particularly through the development of information technology systems, which are linked in very much to the contact centre. The contact centre, I think, has been very much a driver of change in that respect, and that's something we need to continue working at.
Between the planning department and the contact centre, we're working very well together.